Good afternoon. You may have seen that education departments throughout Durango are working hard on ways to improve the teaching of foreign languages. As a result of this, the implementation of bilingual education in terms of content, language, integrated learning, also known as CLIL, is becoming commonplace, in the belief that this kind of approach is the best way to increase students' proficiency in learning a second language, especially English. But what exactly is CLIL? CLIL is an approach that is understood a kind of teaching instruction that integrates both language and content. For instance, teaching math or biology or geography in English. Unfortunately, the teaching of the English language only as a subject is not bearing the expected fruits. Moreover, not enough is known about the factors that impact the acquisition of a second language under a CLIL approach. But how can teachers effectively implement the CLIL approach here in Durango? Not enough is known about that topic. One clever way to effectively implement a CLIL approach here in Durango is the quality of exposure. This means that the student will have more opportunities to participate verbally by interacting with the teacher and with their peers. Additionally, they will have to put up or to expand their linguistic exposure in order to come up with the demands of content learning. Learning is a type of problem-solving activity, and CLIL requires students to solve problems, but using the L2. By using the L2, students will activate a wide range of cognitive processes in their brains, and this is similar to what happens when we first acquire our mother tongue. The implementation of this solution, that is the quality of exposure, has one weakness and one strength. The positive aspect here is that students will acquire the second language throughout an acquisition process rather than a learning process, which emphasizes grammar rules and structures, as Mr. Krashen said. Additionally, the quality of exposure supports the idea of heterogeneous groupings, a non-tense atmosphere where errors are repaired and not criticized, and where meaningful communication and interaction occurs. But the weakness of the quality of exposure, at least here in Durango, is that most of the English teachers have a lack of knowledge in content or subject areas, and vice versa. Teachers who teach subject or content instruction, they show a lack of the English language. This is a problem that has to do with their educational system. A few years ago, there was not such major such as the ELT. And those language teachers, English language teachers that work here in public schools or private schools, They just know English because they have traveled or lived abroad, but they don't have a major. And the other way around is that content teachers, like the ones that have their degree from the Escuela Normal or, La UPD or some school like that, they don't have the knowledge of English that is required to teach a class under content and language integrated learning approach. So previously, I have exposed the situation that has arisen here in Durango of the implementation of bilingual education. The problem that here we don't have the necessary knowledge that needs to be required to give an effective classroom or an effective class under a CLIL approach. I gave a solution, which is a quality of exposure. And, this solution also has a strength and a weakness. But my intention here for my documentary research is to provide, once I have the findings, I would like to provide recommendations and suggestions for those teachers or those schools that implement this kind of approach to implement it well for the students' own benefit. Thank you. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.